Hey y'all, welcome to the Sober Shitshow. I am the co-host with the most, Mark the Hammer, hammering the truth, and the always beautiful and hostess with mostess,
Donut, sober donut, whatever.
So we are back. Unfortunately, a little hiatus again, but as we say basically every single episode, that's life. We literally make plans just so they can basically fall through. But we always get everything done that we sought out for in the beginning. With that being said, I'd like to welcome y'all to a very special episode because we have just crossed the 4-digit threshold. We just hit our 1,000 days the other day, and it's pretty fun. Pretty
surreal.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's not the double-digit years, all of that stuff, but it's literally 4 digits. I mean, it's an accomplishment in my book. I mean, $1,000 might not be much these days.
It's a hell of a lot to me.
But 1,000 days is a whole hell of a lot of time, and money can't buy time.
No, that's for sure. But I mean, I think with that though, yeah, it's not double-digit years, but it's taken that time and recognizing every milestone. People want that 20-year sobriety. They want these, double-digit years, but you have to get to each milestone too. And I think recognizing and rewarding yourself in whatever way that looks like. We had a date night in the camper.
We absolutely did. It was so peaceful. Because
we're too fucking broke to go out.
It was so peaceful.
Oh my god, it's quiet.
So quiet.
It's not what our house is like. It's not quiet.
No,
that was great.
A little weird, but
I think we could get used to it, maybe.
Who knows?
We'll see. But no, 1,000 days though.
That's pretty impressive. And it's funny thinking of 1,000 days because, like a lot of us, the first time I tried getting sober, I'm like, well, if Charlie Sheen can do it, I can do it. Well, that was the first time. Second time was, well, if this guy can do it, I can do it. 1,000 days, it takes you and only you to be able to do it. No one else can do it for you. Yes, you have all your tools in your toolbox. You got people you can call to help carry you across that line, but you still have to run that damn race and want to cross that line.
No matter what.
Exactly.
No matter what. Yeah.
I mean, hell, I can't remember the last 1,000 hours, let alone 1,000 days, but I do know that there's been a whole lot of shit that's gone on in 1,000 days. Good, bad, worse, great.
Yeah.
Worser, worsest.
Yeah.
I mean, so we all have it nonstop. We're all losing jobs, losing money, losing family, friends, feelings, emotions, everything. We're all doing it. We all have an excuse, a crutch, a problem, an issue, well, whatever you want to call it. But each and every one of us still has the one thing that we all need, and the ability to do something about it. To get to your goal, only you can do something about it. You might get 1,000,000 doors slammed in your face. Everything underneath the sun won't go your way. You keep chucking along. shit's gonna eventually happen. You're going to achieve what you wanted to. You just have to want it bad enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, sober blessings are an absolute truth, you know? You get these sober blessings and things are just going great. But, you know, life does happen, kind of what you're saying. And first off, sorry, I'm just getting over a sickness, which is why we did not do this on our 1,000 days.
Yeah.
And probably why I got sick from being in the camper. But anyways, so sorry about my voice and everything. Or if you hear a hellacious cough, just getting over some shit. But, you know, us being the ones to get through it, I just want to kind of touch on, like, it really does have to be you, and you have to want it no matter what. And, you know, you just have to know that that drink isn't going to fix anything, because life does still happen, and you do have to be patient, because sober blessings happen, but, you know, we're impulse-driven addicts in our mind. You know, we want things now, and we want it, you know, we want to control everything. So when things might not go our way, you know, with a job or a relationship or whatever, it's really hard, especially in early recovery. You know, in the 1,000 days, even though that's 4 digits, that's still early recovery in the bigger scheme of things, I think. So, excuse me. Just knowing how bad you want it and not giving into those excuses or crutches or problems, no matter what. I think that was the biggest advice I heard, was no matter what. Just no matter what, you're not drinking, you know, and you can make reasons. You can make all the reasons in the world, and especially when things are going good, you know.
Mm-hmm.
When things are really going good, that's when, you know, well, listen, I can handle this shit now. Look, I've done 1,000 days sober. My mind's clear. Like, I'm thinking great now. Yeah, no shit, because you're not on fucking alcohol or drugs or anything. However, you know, once an addict, always an addict, and it gets worse, so don't give in to that. But we got some questions, some Q&As.
Ooh. Who's first? Rock, paper, scissors?
Oh, man. All right, just out of one.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Couldn't even make that up.
20 times later. Here we go.
All right. So, got a couple questions for each other. Figured kind of make this a little bit funner. So my first question is, what advice do you have for somebody in early recovery? Like, especially just starting out. You know, those first 30 days, the first week, you know.
Literally try every single method of recovery that you possibly can. Whether, I mean, just everything. Journaling, reading, meetings, all that. Try every single method humanly possible to see which one fits for you. Mm-hmm. Because you're gonna hear a lot of people say, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that, this is the only way it can be done, this, and this, and that's it. No, we all are too different for that, and a lot of people are gonna disagree with me. It is what it is, but we all have to find what works for us, what method works for us, or else we're basically just going to set ourselves up to fail, and then once we fail just even a little bit, we're going to talk ourselves right back into doing what we were doing before, and we got nowhere. So try everything as much as you can and see what's the best for you. I mean, we've all had blind faith in whatever we were doing. For how long? Have blind faith in all of these methods for just a little bit and see which one is going to stick with you. Or maybe you might even find something that somebody doesn't have yet. Who knows? That's where I would go.
Yeah, I definitely do. I'm a firm believer that recovery is not one one size fits all. You know,
No.
there's quite a few modalities out there, and there's ways that, you know, you can do on your own. Support group is definitely, you know, whatever way that looks like, whether it's even friends or family, AA. There's Celebrate Recovery. There's a bunch of other things as well. But yeah, see what works for you, and don't compare. Ooh, I think that's gonna be mine. Don't compare your recovery to others. Yeah, I was going to go somewhere else with that one, but I don't know. I think that was really hard in early recovery, is, you know, sitting there looking at everyone else and not even comparing your recovery, but comparing life, you know, protecting yourself from social media. God, that was rough, you know, sitting there home, and yes, you know, we're together, and please don't take this the wrong way, I love being with you, but, you know, you see our friends out, and, you know, they're all doing shots, and you know, it's early in recovery, and that can be a little bit rough sometimes, but also comparing, you know, you start really getting into your head about why you can't be like that, and why it's not fair that other people can, and you know what, that's none of that's our business, right? We know what we are like when we drink or we use, and that's all that we need to know, and we need to, you know, really play that tape forward and remember why we don't. And not, like, one thing that I do quite often too is when I see people either at the bar, you know, their pictures, I kind of play their tape, you know, and living vicariously through them, I guess, because I know the shit show that we can produce. And it's like, you know, those little clips of, you know, a moment in time where everyone's smiling and having the greatest time in the world. How long does that last with alcohol? You know, like, really, like, I know for me that shit's not, you know, it's, I can come up with some great pictures that look like it's a blast, but at the end of the night, you know, shit's a whole different scenery. So the comparison, you know, when you're, yeah, don't compare yourself. I'm sorry, I think the meds have me still a little loopy here. It's your fault. I'm just kidding.
I did nothing.
Oh, man. Alright, what's your question?
Oh, you're not doing two in a row?
We'll go back and forth.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. In 1,000 days sober, what do you feel is your biggest mental cure so far?
What do you mean by mental cure? Like, it's better?
Yes. What aspect of your mental health do you feel has gotten the best in 1,000 days?
So this is where I think we are a little bit different in normal sobriety for like the average, because we're not I know our life is far from average or normal. Ironically, for me and my mental health, it's actually gotten worse since being sober, but that all stems from our son, you know, severely special needs, and I told myself I'm not gonna cry, so I'm not, but, you know, shit's getting crazy, and I mean crazier. So mentally, I'm actually I feel like maybe I'm not in a worse place, but maybe I'm in a more aware. Oh, ding ding ding. Shithead.
What did she win, Johnny?
Clarity! Sorry. This cough is crazy. Okay, awareness of what's going on, because I mean, you know, and that's what's crazy is in the beginning, you know, the thoughts of drinking, the cravings, the urges were fucking insane. You know, I mean, I can remember a few times just literally on my knees, just bawling, begging, praying, and just getting through it, you know, any means necessary, and to not pick up the drink. But now that, you know, 1,000 days, again, it is still kind of early, but we've put in some time. You know, I'm really proud of us. Definitely the farthest either of us has ever gone. So with that being said, I'm losing my train of thought, man. You gotta reel me back.
You're aware
clarity,
of that.
Yeah, the clarity. Fuck my life.
You're aware that you're losing your train of thought.
I'm aware that I'm nuts. You know, like,
Perfect.
sober or not, I'm fucking nuts. No, but
Batshit crazy.
so now that I'm longer in sobriety, those urges and those cravings have definitely subsided. I can't say they've always gone away. Every so often I'll get a random thought and it's like, what? Like, I kind of have to laugh at myself because it's so abrupt, it's so out of nowhere, and it's like I just kind of picture a drink in my hand. I'm like, oh, that's not a good picture. But now, you know, those cravings and stuff have kind of gone away, but the mental health part is kind of getting a little bit rougher. With that being said, you know, the clarity that I can be aware of all that stuff, I can tell when my anxiety is really coming on. You know, even the depression, I can, you know, thoughtfully try to get myself out of it and make those progressive positive steps forward. Because if I was drinking and you know, using all that stuff, I'm not thinking of hope and future. I'm just going deeper in that hole. So the clarity. Cool. Clarity.
There we go.
What about you?
Is that your second question?
No, you gotta answer your own.
Oh, that's right. That's what we were doing.
Yeah.
Fortunately and unfortunately, the ability to think about something from start to finish.
Fortunately and unfortunately.
Yep. Because just because you quit doing your addiction doesn't mean your thoughts stop and the way your brain works changes. So once an overthinker, always an overthinker, whether you're drinking or not, or sober or not.
Yeah.
But
I think that also goes with the awareness.
It does.
Because I've seen a hell of a progression in you, you know, of like kind of grabbing a hold of that whiteboard, you know. His whiteboard gets crazy. It is what it is. I love you. I love the whiteboard.
It's easy to operate for me.
I opened up my computer today. He did some work on it yesterday. I swear to God, there was 20 like, I had to restart the computer because it was so fucking didn't know what to do. There were so many tabs. This whiteboard had whiteboards.
But I made a lot of good headway.
Absolutely, he did. This shit, you know.
Because I had my whiteboard. See? You gotta find what works for you.
No,
just because it works for me doesn't mean it works for her. I've seen her trying to get a whiteboard. It's scary. It's almost like nails going across a chalkboard scary.
I mean, I think I think I thrive under these whiteboard pressures. I just know that, like, eventually they're all gonna so let me just have like one or two boards I have to dodge. But you know, they're thinking the things through from start to finish. Part of that is helping control your emotions and your thoughts too. You know, because again, drinking and just living one moment to the next, it's there's really no thought of start to finish except for when am I getting my next drink and where are we going and, you know, all that stuff. But
yeah.
Are we on second question now?
Yep. Your second question.
Not saying we were relapsing, not saying this is gonna fucking happen, but if you had to start all over again and you know, start from day one, what would you do differently this time?
Get rid of the thought instantly that someday in the future I might be able to be a normie drinker.
Oh.
Fucking get rid of that bullshit instantly.
So how did you get rid of it?
Just come to the realization that shit ain't never gonna happen.
It's kind of over time and enough tapes that you play in your head, you're like, yeah, no matter however this goes, it's not good.
But once again, I've said it a million times. Your brain and yourself can talk yourself into or out of anything you could possibly dream of. You keep telling yourself long enough that you're never going to be able to use again, drink again, whatever, you're going to eventually believe it.
Yeah. So one trick that we also, not really trick, we absolutely love it. OP Live, if anybody's watching, we fucking love you. But one thing that does, 98% of the people that usually they're coming in contact with, unless it's a traffic stop and something, but even then, you know, the drunk drivers and all that, almost everybody's lit. And you just watch them and you're like, oh, that would have been, you know, I don't want that to be me again, you know. And I think it just helps kind of remind us that, you know, because you see people from all walks of life. Addiction does not discriminate. Alcohol does not discriminate. You don't have to be an alcoholic to get blacked out drunk and shit, you know. Like, alcohol's fucking poison, man. But just watching other people and just remembering that alcohol is alcohol, right? Like, it doesn't matter who you are. Like, if you drink too much, there's no controlling. And again, once an addict, always an addict. So there's that part of it for us. But I think that was a good one. Let's get that thought, because I think that is one. It's, well, and so I'm going to kind of elaborate on that one. That's where it's day by day, one day at a time. Because when you first stop drinking, you're like, holy shit, how can I go 1,000 days without fucking drinking? Like, 1,000 days on day one, I wasn't sure. Like, I didn't know if I could, if we could. I didn't know. And that's, you know, leading right into mine. I was going to say, you know, slow down. That was going to be my advice. Or if I could do something over again for me, it'd be slow down, because I had just graduated. I was getting into the field of working in addiction and recovery. When I got into the field, I climbed the ladders pretty quickly, and I had a lot of obstacles against me. Apparently the addiction recovery field does not like ex-felons anymore. Or not ex, because I'm still whatever. However, this was a field that, you know, peer recovery and helping each other, but that's a whole nother show. But I took on a lot, you know, also just mentally, you know, trying to get to just wanting those double-digit years, and, you know, even wanting the 1,000 days right away, and just sometimes thinking, like, I can never do it. Just slow down. You know, that's what I would have done. Maybe even if I would have gotten into the field, not taken on, you know, boundaries, saying no, just slowing down in life, you know, because I think when we get sober, we want everything, all the good. We want all the things that we haven't had in so long, you know, and I mean, for me at that moment, you know, I just graduated, I busted my ass, you know, and I also had fucking ego problem. Little did I know my bachelor's doesn't do shit in that field.
Yeah, right?
So there's that. Knocked me down to size. But no, I think you know, if I had to do it all over again, I would just kind of slow down. I would take it more day by day as, you know, I got through those days. I just have a habit of trying to take on too much, and a lot of squirrels.
No.
Right? I knew he wouldn't agree. It's not me.
No.
But yeah, just slow down.
All right, my second question. What is the most noticeable physical change that's happened since you've quit drinking?
Physical? I mean, I think I feel like I lost a little bit of weight, but then I've fluctuated so much in the past 1,000 days. I'm not going to go with the weight thing. I'm actually going to go a little bit more surface level. Skin, eyes, like just literally looking alive, looking refreshed. Now, there are days I look like complete, drug out of the depths of despair. But, all in all, I just think it's, when I look in the mirror, I can see whites of my eyes, not the red and the glossy and the just emptiness. What about you?
I just feel better.
Lucky you. Just kidding.
I just don't. I don't need something to make me feel better. Before, if I wanted to feel better, I'd drink, and then I felt better. Now I don't really need something to make me feel better. I still just hurt because I hurt, but I don't need something to get me just to that point anymore.
Well, and I think we've discussed this quite a bit too. It's, yeah, we might feel better for the moment because, we both have arthritis and, different ailments. So physically, however, if we drink, yeah, there's a brief moment that it'll make us feel better. Absolutely. But we start doing more, right? Because we're feeling better. We're numb. We're, hey, look at me. And next thing you know, the pain is even worse than starting. So again, why even fucking pick up the drink, right? It's just, goes back to that insanity kind of circle thing.
Absolutely.
I like it. Good questions.
Absolutely.
I was a little scared. Had to tell them simple. Don't, not like a 3-part one question.
But the best part is she's scared when it's her idea to give me the ability to come up with questions.
Well, I can't control everything. Listen, some people work well with guidance. Some people need an extra little bit more. I'm just kidding. Alright, well, with all that being said, the 1,000 days, I need to stop hitting this table. No, very proud of you, very proud of me. It's been a hell of a journey. Also my advice for anybody, it's gonna fucking hurt. It is, I'm not gonna cry. But there's gonna be some times that, and there's some times when things are going so great and all of a sudden something just stabs you in your heart and it's a past trauma, it's a past feeling, it's a past, for me, I had a lot of, closure with grief that I never dealt with, and holy shit, just out of fucking nowhere. And there's just some painful times, and I think the most painful part of it all is the fact that we are having to sit with it. We don't numb it, but you can do it. You can get through it. That's where the grit, you learn your strength when you're getting through that tough shit. So if we can do it, bro, listen, like I said, raising very severe nonverbal, behaviorally fucking insane, love him to pieces kid, and and all of us are dealing with shit one way or another. We all have something, and we can't make it an excuse. Just keep going, alright?
Got to.
Choo-choo!
It's either you keep going or you stay in the same spot for the rest of your life.
Yep. And I don't know about you, but I like what Jelly says, you know what I'm saying? That rearview mirror looks in the back for a reason, and it's smaller. That windshield's much bigger. Look forward. He says it much better than that, but Alright, well, with that being said, thank you guys for tuning back in. We'll get back to y'all soon enough. And remember, if you're on day 1, if you're on day 1,000 or 20 years ahead, congrats, keep going, one day at a time.
Absolutely.
And proud of you, man. Keep inspiring others. That's what it's all about. You know, show others that you can do it. All right.